We just have to go. We just have to get started. Okay. Well, hello, you guys on YouTube. This is your host, Gabriel Julié. I hope that you are doing excellent. I hope that you are doing well, because today, guys, I'm going to share with you the truth about how to make $1 million product launch. Because I see a lot of people trying to launch their product and struggling to do that. And I don't want you guys to fail at that, because hey, that's quite depressing to launch a product and figure out that hey, you did it the wrong way and you missed on a huge bag of money and a huge impact on your audience. So if you don't want to do that, make sure first that you subscribe to the show. Make sure that you subscribe to the Marketing Commandos on Clubhouse. Join the room on Clubhouse if you want to ask your questions, or you can also go into the YouTube, Gabriel Julié, and subscribe there to not miss any episode on every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, guys, I'm going to share with you what I got in my screen, on my screen, to make sure that you guys actually see what I got for you, because it's going to be a jam-packed episode. It's going to be a jam-packed because it's going to actually show you a step-by-step process on how to launch a product perfectly, because nobody told you that. Nobody told you the perfect way to launch a product, and I'm going to do that. I just learned that a few days ago from Russell Brunson, Steve J. Lawson, a lot of jam-packed information, and I want to share that with you ASAP. So make sure that you subscribe if you want to keep having that great information, and comment if you're excited. Let's go. Let's get after the first thing. First, hey guys, if you guys don't know me, my name is Gabriel Julié. I'm the founder and CEO of Julihey Media. We help businesses increase their sales by 30% in less than 6 months with online marketing. And I also create dope videos to make sure that you create a sustaining brand that knows how to differentiate themselves and create an impact. Now that you know a bit more about me, let's go back right into the subject of today's episode. Hey, how can you create $1 million product launch? Because there is a framework, guys. There is a framework, and you just have to know it. You just have to study it and to understand the ins and outs of that method. But when you know it, well, you can apply this to every product that you're launching and make sure that it's successful each time. How many of you guys want to have it? Each time you launch a successful product, hey, each time you launch a product, how much of you guys want to actually have a successful launch? If that's you, man, I got something for you. Make sure that you subscribe for the show and that you put the notifications on to not miss every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, even weekends. Your boy Gabriel is still there. Now let's go right into the first subject of today's presentation. Without further ado, let's start right into the gold of today's episode. Hey, guys, first thing I want to talk about today, how like the fact that you can laugh at product launch worries if you follow the simple plan. There are a few things that you need to understand first, a few things that you need to follow in order to make sure that you are able to get a great product launch done. And if you guys want to know more about this, make sure that you subscribe to the show, because I'm going to share those kind of information every day with you. But without further ado, here are the things I got to share with you. Hey, number one, I'm going to go back to my face first. Number one, have at least 1 month. 1 month, that's the bare minimum that you should have before launching a product. Why is that? Because the more time you're going to have in order to be able to promote the offer, to promote the product that you're making, and that's what's going to make a difference. I got a guy, I don't remember his name, but he always did that system when he was launching a product. He actually planned his promotion for 1 whole year. So he was like, okay, I'm going to launch that product in 1 year, and the only job that he got from this point was to promote that product launch until he get, and each time it was $1 million product launch. So there is something to take about this. There is something to understand and to model. The fact is that it's not the product that's going to make the difference if this is a good or bad product launch. What's going to make the difference is how much work do you put in the promotion beforehand to make sure that it works and it sustains the launch. That's how it's going to work the best. Second thing, I kind of talked about it in my last point, but the fact is that you should always be promoting. Your only job when you are launching a product is to promote as a maniac. You should be promoting everywhere, on social media, if you can, TV, press, radio if you can, or more oftentimes one of the best ways to do that is actually to go on other people's platforms and actually promote on theirs. and I'm going to share with you a step-by-step process on how you can identify who you should go and you should go on their podcast, their platforms in order to promote your product. So if you're excited, put a comment, share the podcast episode with somebody that would be interested. And guys, you got to figure out, hey, okay, what is my promotion plan? Because as I told you previously, this is not about having a great product. Of course, you should have a great product. Of course, that's something that you should have before launching actually the product. But something that you should have much more dialed in is all the promotional, the marketing aspect, the sales funnels around that. The more you're going to be able to promote your product before a launch, the more you're going to see results. So your whole job needs to be to focus on the promotional aspect. That's going to be the difference between a good product launch and a not so good product launch. Now, one of the things that you need to know as well is that you got to figure out, okay, I know I need to promote. Now, who should I promote with? Where should I go promote in order to get my product launch out there? And there are different methods. You can buy your way in, or you can earn your way in. Those are two different ways. When you buy your way in, you basically run ads, you pay for stuff, and that's an excellent way. That's going to be able to bring you like a sustainable amount of business, recurring amount of business. That's incredible. One of the other ways that a lot of people don't want to do because it's hard knocks, they don't want to go and do that, but that's by far one of the most, I would say, exponential way to actually create hype and create a great product launch and a great company, create a movement, is actually to go at it the earning way. The earning way is basically you put in effort, like cold calling, for example, or prospecting. Hey, it's not automatic, you got to put some effort in, but if you know how to do that, it actually can like get incredible results. That's kind of the same principle. But you can earn traffic, search for traffic in marketing. That works as well. Now, how do you do that? Well, I'm going to share that step-by-step process that I just talked about to you guys next. So if you want to check that out, make sure that you check out the how-to episode on YouTube on Marketing Commandos on how you guys can actually do that. I'm going to share that step process with you. But hey guys, if you want to know how to do that, if I'm going over quickly, basically what you got to do is that you got to understand, okay, who is my dream customers? We always come back to that because that's the centerpiece. Who is my dream customer? And then where are they congregating? Who is congregating that audience already? So let's say you got, in my situation, a marketing agency. I work with entrepreneurs that really want to grow their businesses. I'm going to make it very simple, but you should go way deeper into identifying who your dream customer is. Make a biography. What you should do after that is, okay, identify the different segments. So I'm talking to entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are my dream customers, but there are entrepreneurs in different niches: real estate, MLM, like dental, B2B, service to business coaches, consultants. Like those are different segments, and in those different segments, there are different leaders, different like guys that are congregating those audiences, different real estate gurus, different like B2B guys or girls, and you gotta identify those people that already congregated those audiences. And your goal is going to be to promote. You have multiple choices. As I told you, you have the paid way to go in it, so you can go and actually like target their audiences and throw paid ads at them. That's one of the ways you can do that. Or if you try to earn your way in, you can actually, hey, try to get on their podcast, on their show, to make sure that their audiences, you get their awareness and they come back to your funnel and actually get interested in you and become your people. That's one of the ways that I would do it, and one of the best ways to grow an audience and do a product launch. That's the best way to do that. If you guys like this, if you guys do like the way and the things I talk about, make sure that you do subscribe to the show. We do the Marketing Commandos show every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So don't miss an episode, because every day we are going to talk about values, things that you can do every day in your marketing strategy that you can set up in place and create an automatic money machine. So if you guys want to do that, make sure that you're subscribed to the show. Or if you have questions about anything, make sure you join the Clubhouse room, because hey, we keep talking about gold things and you can ask actually questions on Clubhouse. Yesterday, we got a guy that was wondering more precisions on something that the guy that we interviewed, Thomas, was saying. He was like, hey man, like how do you technically do the stuff? Oftentimes, you know, like we teach you something, but some technical aspects may, you know, You may not know how to do that. Well, actually, if you have any problems with that, don't hesitate to go into the clubhouse room to ask your questions. That's the reason why I'm running it. So guys, let's go into the next section without further ado of today's episode, which are going to be Q&As. I got the questions around product launch and how to make a successful product launch, and I'm going to answer those. So if you are excited about this, make sure that you subscribe and make sure that you click the bell to not miss any episode of today's show. Now, question number one is going to be, hey, why product launches are important? Why is it important? Well, actually, in a core strategy, you can do without like hyping up a product launch. But the thing is, when you're doing a product launch, that can give you a huge head start into getting those first customers, creating hype and building up that notoriety. And that's power around that product. Let's say you create a product and you just launch it, like nobody's knowing it. Okay, then you're going to have to build up to that product. Okay, I'm going to build testimonials, I'm going to test it, I'm going to have to run ads. But if you do correct product launch, you actually start even before the product creation, like even before the product is finished. And when it's officially launched, you have all that material, that social proof, that or those tested, like all tested processes, all those things that are proven to already work that you can use in order to actually boost the rate at which you can sell that product. So that's why it's extremely important to do successful product launch, because it's going to help you to go way faster into getting that product to the market and selling as many of those products as possible. Question number two is, hey, what events can you make for a product launch? That's an interesting question, because hey, you can do multiple things. It depends on the product that you launch. Maybe you launch a book, maybe you're launching a coaching program, or something similar to that, or maybe just a physical product. That's fine, but you got to figure out the way that which you promote it. Depends on what kind of product and what kind of price point it is, but oftentimes I would rather go for a challenge. So you go into like something that you will do into different days, like for example, 21 days challenge to promote something that's low to middle level value. And after that, if you have some kind of more high ticket product, I would rather go into a webinar or some longer presentation to actually be able to have the time to sell towards that product. Now, but there are 110 different ways to do that. So you got to figure out and test which one works the best. The answer is always, I can suggest you some things, model what's already working, but you should always test out different ways to launch a product, test out different funnels, different kind of promotions, hooks. You should always be testing. That's the real answer. Now, question number three, if I can find the button to actually go into that screen. Hey, what is the best way to promote my new product? Like, hey, what is the best way? Well, I kind of talked about it before, but the thing is, what are the devices you do is always have so you have your funnel set up. You're going to promote it that way. You're doing a webinar to promote it, and you're going to launch a webinar, which is going to promote your new coaching program, let's say. Okay, great. Now, how do you promote that product to actually get a ton of registrants into that webinar? One of the ways I would do it is actually, okay, I set up the launch 1 year further or a few months so I can have time to do the promotion. My goal now is going to be, okay, I'm going to list all the people that are already congregated my dream audience, and I'm going to hustle and go on each of them podcasts, live Instagrams, collaborate with them, bring value to their list, but make sure I show up to their audiences so I can grab all those eyeballs. And each time I'm going to go that, and I'm going to share with you guys a step-by-step process further in that presentation. So make sure that you stay until the end to get the opportunity to know it. But I'm going to go to their audiences, and each time I go there, my only goal, my only promotional message is going to be, hey, I'm going to have that thing that's coming up, go in there. And basically you're going to take their audiences into your promotional process, create hype, create that thing, that desire around your product that you're going to launch. That's the best way for me to do that. Hey, did you guys like this? If you did like this, if you did like the tips I'm sharing with you, make sure that you subscribe to the show on YouTube, because we do this every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, guys. Every day of the week. So make sure that you stay tuned in order to not miss any episodes. Now, let's go into the next step of today's episode, the next section of today's episode, which are going to be the 3 ways to achieve a successful product launch. There are a few things that you can do in order to achieve a successful one, of course, a few things that you should avoid, but I'm going to share with you guys today the few things that you need to absolutely follow in order to make sure that you get a successful product launch. So if you're excited about knowing those, make sure you comment what you think those ways are. Let's go. And don't cheat, man. Don't cheat. Write them out right now. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, number one way to actually make a successful product launch is going to be like reporting that launch actually. The best way to do that is, hey guys, like oftentimes we plan out to launch a product and then, okay, now I launched my product and now I start promoting it. No. You should start promoting the product way before it even started. Even before you even created it, you got to start the promotional message right there, because what's going to make a successful product launch is not the product by itself, but the promotion that's around it. And that's extremely important to understand. Don't focus on creating the best product. Focus on having the best product promotion towards that product launch as possible. That's how you're going to be able to kickstart it and to get as many customers in as possible. So I would ideally between 2 and 3 months to a year, minimum 2 and 3 months. 1 month is like, you're stretching it a bit, but you can do it if you want to do something quick. But what I would advise you to do is actually report it to like 2 or 3 months forward, and then you have 2 or 3 months to a year of being able to promote, get on as many podcasts as possible to promote your new product launch. Next thing, second thing that you guys should do, second ways that you should do is to create desire to your audience. And that's one of the first thing that you should do into your promotional cycle. So you go and you start, whenever you're starting out to get your product launched or your promotional message, actually, what you do is that you're going to create desire. Hey, I'm creating that thing. This is what I'm going to do. This is exactly the thing. This is what it's going to do for you. This is how it's going to work, how it's going to help you actually achieve that result. And you create happy, you create that desire towards that audience. The more you're going to have that, and the more you're going to spread that desire to as many people as possible. That's why it's important to go on those other podcasts, on the audiences to do it. The more you're going to have a successful launch. So that's way number 2. Now I'm going to share with you way number 3. And if you guys like this, before I share way number 3, make sure that you subscribe to the show, because I share those tips every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on live. Or if you're watching the replay, make sure that you subscribe and you click the bell to not miss any new episode. Now, way number 3, you go from hot to cold. What do I mean by that? Going from hot to cold. I see that's a lot of small business owners actually make that mistake, especially when they try to go to the paid advertising. That's oftentimes when you see people are doing that mistakes. They're trying to advertise to a cold audience. They're like, hey, I need more people. I need to focus on getting more people. The problem with that is that it costs a lot of money to actually advertise to that cold audience. And at the beginning of your like being able to promote your product and being good at marketing, you're not good enough to market to that audience effectively. So what I would advise you to do is first focus on only marketing, bringing as many people in to convert them into hot traffic. Don't go directly advertise to them. Your goal is to convert them from cold to warm to hot. And then you're going to focus on creating a desire, as I talked about, creating that marketing message, that promotional message to that hot audience. Okay. Second thing that you should do when you're able to develop enough and understand a bit more, then you can go into a larger pool. You can promote to the hot and the warm audiences. So then you're able to actually grab more people in, but you have more experience and you understand the promotion aspect that you need to follow in order to promote to that warm audience, so you can be more successful with it and not waste your time and money. And then when you're way more advanced, you can go and you can directly talk to that promotional, directly promote to that cold audience. But you got to understand that if you start by doing this, first you start with the cold, hey, like you're not going to get great results. Start by promoting to the hot, then the warm, then the cold. Whenever you get that experience in that solid foundation, and then you can expand and grab more people in. Now, that's way number 3. Before I share with you the bonus, guys, hey, because I always like to give some bonuses. Like, you gotta know that this thing is extremely important. This thing is by far the thing that's gonna separate the people that succeed and the people that fail at having a product launch. So if you're excited about that, make sure that you share the live stream, make sure that you share the episode, because it's going to be like incredible. Like, guys, if you follow this, let me tell you this, if you do follow this, there's no way that you do not do a successful $1 million product launch. Here's the bonus tip I got for you. Let me share it with you. The tip is that you guys should do as many presentations to new audience as possible. Your only job when you are launching a new product, promoting something up, your only job is to go on other people's podcasts, live, feed, whatever is the way you find to be faced, to be in front of the other people's audiences of people that's already congregated, the audience that you want to talk to. The more you're going to get in front of the eyes, the more you're going to gather people that will be able to buy a product. And that's going to be your only goal. Like, let's look at Tony Robbins. I think in like 2 months before he's launching his book, like Money Master the Game, I think it was this book. The guy did like in 2 months, like 200 to maybe 300 interviews on TV, radio, on whatever the platforms that they use, but more than 200. Like, do you see how important it is? And that's actually how you make a successful product launch. Is the more eyeballs you get during that product launch phase. Hey guys, I'm launching a new book. And then like, it's exactly like when you have a big product, like a big, how do you say that? A big film that Hollywood just produced. What do they do before the film actually launch? What they do actually is they go and they make sure that the actors and the cast actually goes on stage, on TV, radio, to talk about the movie, create some hype, as we just talked about, create some hype, and to promote the movie beforehand. And when they're going to be, and they know it's going to be successful, if on the first day of the launch of the movie, they're going to have a lot of money. If they don't succeed in that step, well, the whole process is they're not gonna make a lot of money with that movie, basically. They gotta focus on making the sales at the first moments that the film launch. In order to do that, you got to make sure that you promote a ton beforehand. That's exactly how you're going to do it. Hey, do you guys like this? Do you guys like this? I did love this. I did love that. And that's one of the ways that you guys can actually create a successful product launch. But now I got something way more exciting to show you guys. I got actually a step-by-step process, proven method. Because I talked about different ways, bunch of ways to actually make sure that you do a successful product launch. I'm going to gather all those things that I just talked about and put it in a step-by-step process that you can follow now, today, in order to start promoting your next product launch. Are you excited about this? If you are, make sure that you comment that you are excited. Make sure that you comment and you put an estimation on how much you're going to make with that product launch. Now let's go into the proven step-by-step framework. I'm going to share with you my screen. Okay, my proven method to make $1 million launch with any product, because yes, I didn't mention that, guys, but it works with any product. It can be consultation, it can be a physical product, it can be an ebook, a book. Those are the same processes. If you follow those methods, those processes, those steps that I'm going to share with you right now, you are assured 110% that you will be able to make a successful launch. That's exactly the same thing that Tony Robbins used to make millions and millions of dollars with his book. Grant Cardone, Russell Brunson, they always use methods similar to this one that I just created for you. So make sure that you stay until the end and you stay tuned. You subscribe to the show to not miss any more processes like this. Number one step, you're going to create hype around your product. So that's the first step. You go and you have a product launch. Okay, I'm going to launch my product in, let's say, 5 months from now. My goal is going to be first to promote, hey guys, I'm doing this, I'm creating that thing. So one of the best ways to do that is to actually document the process of you creating that resource. If you are creating a book, that's kind of easy. Let's say as you're writing the book, you're sharing, hey, those are the things I'm talking about. This is a chapter of it. Look at it. Like, look how great it is. Oh, this is the first draft. Hey, if you guys want to have that draft, I can share it to you for free. If you put your email address and create some hype, you really try to hype it up and create, like, imagine you are launching blockbuster on Hollywood. If you had all your money put into it, you're going to make everything in your power to promote it. That's exactly the same thing that you're going to do here. You're going to take all the ways to create hype as possible during that product launch, as like all the duration of time that you got until your product actually launch. But that's the first step. That's what you got to start first with. And you should always do that all along the process. Step number 2 that you got to do is that you gotta create a list of the people that are congregating the audience that's going to buy your product. So let's say that you're a chiropractor. Okay, you're a chiropractor. You gotta identify, okay, who are the people that are talking to my audience? My audience are those people, they do this thing. Who are the people that are talking to them? You gather those people, and your goal is going to be that I'm going to share that with you in the next step. Your next goal is to reach out to them, go on their podcasts, their platforms, their way to promote to their audiences. You go on those ways, on their stages, and you give value to the audiences. Of course, you do not go into the stage and to be like, hey, just like, hey, I'm doing that thing. Of course, like, fuck you, man. Like, you need to provide some value. You can actually share, okay, hey, when you go on their stage, you can have a little presentation on how those guys are, how you guys can actually, like, if you're a chiropractor, 10 ways that you guys can make sure that you get rid of the pain that you got without actually going to the chiropractor. Then you build some value with that, and you actually can, at the end, say, hey, guys, by the way, if you want to know more about tips that you can have in order to make sure that you get better health, and you get like you get rid of those pains, all those things that are preventing you to actually take time with your family, make more money, being more productive. Make sure that you guys stay tuned, because I'm creating a book and on exactly how to do that. And if you want to get the first chapters of this book, go to the page at chiropractor how to get rid of pain.com to get the first page. And then what's going to happen? Genius marketing. You're able to grab that audience that is excited about the things that you just talked about, and you make them your own. That's going back to the traffic tips I gave you to make them your own. So you get those eyeballs, you get the traffic. Cool. You got to make sure they get in your list, in your email list, in your customer base. So that's one of the way you can grab them and make them welcome into your universe. So that's how you're going to do that. But it's not finished, guys. We're only on step 4. This is not finished. So as I just talked to you guys about, your only goal during that promotion duration, what you're going to do is you're going to promote the product launch that you're going to have, and using all those hype ways to do it. As I just shared with you, if you're writing a book, maybe you can share a chapter of this book to get them excited, to give them a bit of information, you know what I mean, to get them excited about what's going on. Or maybe if you're creating a coaching program, maybe you can share them a checklist of what you're going to talk about in that coaching program to make sure they can start looking at the things that they can improve by themselves. Or whatever the product is that you're having, you can give them a little piece, a little thing of what you're going to do in order to create some hype. Find ways to create hype, to create engagement around the product launch that you're making, and welcome as many people as possible into that hype that you're creating. That's what you're going to do. Next step of this process. And guys, if you do like this, make sure that you stay connected until the end of this video, because I got something tremendous for you. So stay connected until the end of the video. Keep watching, because I got something incredible. Now, what you're going to do after this, you are getting those people, you're getting their audiences, and you're talking to them, to their audiences, to make sure that, okay, you help them, you bring them value, you talk about your product, you're welcoming those people to your audience. Okay, great. Now you got to make sure that those leaders, those guys that you went on their podcast, on their promotional stages, what you got to make sure is that you get the leaders on your side. You actually sell them on why your product, your thing is the best thing ever. You got to welcome them into the hype as well, because guys, a one-time podcast interview where you can actually get a few leads, a few customers, that's a great thing. But one of the best things that you can do is actually make sure that those leaders become promoters along the promotion time that you got your offer, and even after the launch, making sure that actually promotes your launch. And maybe you do some kind of an affiliate plan when they can actually get some money if they do promote your product to your audience. That's one of the ways I would actually recommend, inviting them to get compensated on how many books, how many consultation programs actually sell. So you get them on your side. So you show them why your thing is the best, why you should do it that way, and that's the way you should do it. Then after that, what you're going to do is you're going to go Google follow-up. You're going to stay connected with them, and you're going to actually also welcome them in the hype. Send them some little products via the mail. Like go them and send them little copies of your book, like physical things. Like give them some hype, especially them, because those guys have access they have access to the audience that you want. So you got to make sure that you cherish them, because those are the best ways to, those are your biggest opportunity to actually blow up. So you got to make sure you cherish those guys, because they are going to make, if you're connecting them enough to what you're going to launch, that's the biggest factor that's going to change and make sure that you make a great product launch. Now, last step of this process is that whenever the product launch date approach, you got to ask them to promote. And as I told you, maybe you install some kind of an incentive plan when you actually compensate them. Let's say you sell a book, you get this benefit, you sell a coaching program, you get this thing, those kind of things. When they actually get a reward for promoting what you are doing, that's one of the best ways you're going to be able to make sure they promote your thing to their audiences. And man, like if you follow that step-by-step process, you're going to make a ton of money. But now, hey guys, I got something way better for you right now. Do you guys are interested if I spend like 2 minutes sharing with you something that's going to really change your life on how you can apply this process and make sure that your next product launch is incredible? Are you guys excited? Great. What you guys have is that, okay, I share with you the step-by-step process, but I can go a lot further into how you can do it and what are the exact step-by-step process, because I shared with you an overall step-by-step process. I can go like 10 hours on this thing, but I don't want to do, I don't want to do that in a quick little video for you guys like this. So if you want a deep step-by-step process to make sure that you actually implement the information and you actually are able to create that whole revenue, to make that next product launch and to impact as many people as possible, make sure, guys, make sure that you go to the following link, and make sure that you go to the link I'm going to share with you, because I'm going to share with you something that's extremely revolutionary. Go to this link, check out this link, GabrielJulié.com/action plan, because in this action plan, I actually share with you guys and force you, yes, I force you to actually go ahead and implement the information that I share with you daily. Each day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I change the list. Yesterday, I had an action plan. I'm going to delete it. It's going to be gone forever. And you're going to have to apply today's action plan. That's going to be the way you are going to do it. So that forces you to have the urgency to apply what I'm sharing with you on a daily basis, so you can actually go and grow your business fast. Because one of the biggest things that's preventing you to actually go ahead and do the things and reach the goals that you want is that you are not doing them. So I want to make sure that this information doesn't just get seated and, okay, I learned something great today, and then you forgot about it in two days later. I want to make sure that you implement it for your business and that you actually get to see the results, to experience the result that it can get you. So go ahead and go to GabrielJulié.com/action plan, GabrielJulié.com/action plan. Guys, by the way, what's the cash, Gabriel? How much is it? It's fucking free. It's fucking free. So you can go in there, register, and you're going to have access to a web page that you're going to be able to customize. I'm going to go on there and put the step-by-step process deeply with more things that you need to do in order to ensure that everything is dialed up and you do everything correctly. So go ahead, GabrielJulié.com/action plan, GabrielJulié.com/action plan. Guys, if you guys like what I share with you guys, do you guys like this? Hey man, the more I'm doing those episodes, the more I'm committing to giving you those things that I'm talking to you about, the more I'm sharing some value, the more pumped I feel, and the more happy I actually feel, the more fulfilled, because I'm able to give that value to you guys. Do you ever feel like you have that calling, that message that you want to share with people, and you're not like doing it, and you feel like you got something that you can share, you got your own little value add, but you know you are not sharing it? Guys, I want to encourage you right now to make sure that you do those things, because like doing that show is actually one of the best things I've ever done, because it helps me to create and find my own voice and actually fulfill my purpose to help you guys to achieve your goals. So I would encourage you to do the same thing. Find a way for you to help your audience. Find a way for you to help your people, because that's one of the best ways that you're going to be able to find your real purpose, and also to get to the levels that you want, because you cannot go further. Like, I've been in this game enough a longer time, because yes, yes, I'm young, but I've been into this game long enough to understand that being money motivated is important. Yes, you should always go back to the money and making sure that you make as much money as possible. At some point, what really has to drive you when you make enough money, because after that, when you make enough money, when you understand the principles and you understand the things, like money is coming, that's cool, but what you got to understand is that you gotta really have a deeper purpose than that. For me, that purpose is helping you guys to actually reach your goals. And that's what one of the reasons I'm doing that thing. Marketing Commandos, guys. Hey, make sure you stay connected every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and Clubhouse. If you guys on YouTube are watching the show and you have questions, join the Clubhouse room, Marketing Commandos. I'm running that show on Clubhouse right now at the same time to make sure that, hey, if there are questions, people that want to ask questions one-on-one, jump on stage and ask your questions. I'm more than okay with that because I want you guys to apply the information. I don't want you to have, okay, I just learned something great today. No, I want you to apply because that's the reason why you're going to see the results. Guys, now I'm going to take a moment to gather all the things that we talked about in today's episode to make sure that you can use it the best way possible and you can get the results. Do you want to do that? Are you excited about this? Cool, let's go. So let's go into the section of today's episode, final thoughts. Hey, number one thing that you got to take out from today's episode, a successful launch of products. Successful launch are made in the promotion, not in the product. You can have the best product ever. If you fuck up the product launch, you're not going to be able to sell that product enough and to help enough people. So focus on the promotion. You pretty much don't have to care about the product. The thing is that if you're not able to, day one, make like a ton of money with that product, it's going to dramatically impact in a bad way the amount of sales that you are going to be able to do in the long run. Because if you imagine that you have thousands of people buying your products first day it launched, how much do you think is going to help you to actually generate the social proof, the revenue to improve the products? How much do you think is going to help that? It's going to help you a lot, right? You understand? And the thing that you got to do to make that happen, because if you just launch a product and like, hey, I made a product, nobody's going to buy it from you. But if you plan and you have the right step-by-step process to have a successful product launch, hey man, whenever you launch that product, you may even made some money even before the product was even launched. So that's great. But when the products do launch, man, you got that hype going on and you get that successful product launch. Now, next thing that we can take from today's episode. When launching a new product, a new offer, your one job, your only mission is to massively promote that product. Amen. The only thing that you're going to do is to do that. Your goal is to be going on those platforms, to go on all the people's stages, platforms, to make sure that you promote your message, you promote the hype, you share the hype, you share what you're doing, and people get excited about what you're doing. How much should I promote my thing, man? As much as you possibly can, like as much. Let's go back to Tony Robbins' example. When Tony Robbins was launching his book, Money Master the Game, he went in 2 months to more than like 200 interviews on TV, radio, all that. In 2 months. That's more than like two to three interviews per day about something. Like you got to go that hard in order to make a product launch successful, because let me tell you something, like this book is on my shelf, this product is successful. To make sure that your product launch works correctly, it's all in the promotion, the marketing, and in the sales funnel, the process that you got to make sure, because you get all that hype, now you got to make sure that hype actually gets conversions. Those two things aligned with a great product, on top of that, makes a difference. But what makes the most difference is the fact that you promote beforehand. That's the most important thing. Last thing that we can take from today's episode, you have to leverage all the people stages to promote your launch. That's one of the fastest ways and one of the most evergreen ways you will be able to use in order to grow your platforms and to grow your business, because there's a lot of grow hacks like, hey, use Facebook ads, use those things. But one day, Facebook ads, Google ads, all those great tools that we got, we are not going to be able to use them, or they are not going to work as good as before. That's what is happening already with Facebook ads. The costs are driving up and keep driving up. So one of the evergreen ways that you can have is go on other people's channels, whatever those channels are, podcast, fucking metaverse, stage, I don't know, but hologram, whatever the thing is, you got to go on those platforms of the people that already congregated, like congregated the audience that you want to talk about. You want to talk to entrepreneurs? Okay, go look at the people that are already talking to entrepreneurs. They already have that audience that you can go and being invited on their stage, provide some value to that audience so they see that you're the real deal. You actually are somebody that they want to know more about. And then you welcome them to your world, showing, hey, I'm doing that product launch. I'm showing you a bit of hype, so you get excited as well. Hey, join me on my journey, you know. That's one of the ways that you can do that. And by far the best ways that you can always grow your business, your sales, and the results that you will get for your business. Guys, hey, like today we learned great things, but that's not the end. That's not the end, guys. You thought we were done, because I share with you some vital jobs, some things that you will never see in other people's shows. Because remember, we do this every day. Like every day I'm sharing that kind of value. But one of the things that I want to make sure with all that activity, all that information I'm sharing with you, is to make sure that you apply what I say every day. Because if you say, oh, I just learned something cool from Gabriel, but you don't do, like, I don't care, don't even mention me, man. You gotta apply what I teach you. You gotta apply what I'm saying to you, because if you do not do that, you're not going to see those results. And I want to make sure that you get the best results as possible. And one of the ways I can do that is to actually force you to do the things. Now, how can I force you to do that? Well, all the processes that I talk about every day on this show, I put them on this link. Go on gabrieljulié.com/action plan. And daily, I'm changing it up. Let's say I'm talking about how to do product launch. Today, there is going to be a product launch step-by-step process deeply that I go way deeper into, because it's like I got more time and more dedication to be able to put it on paper. But I put that step-by-step process deeply on that page. You're going to be able to apply it. But the next day, whenever I do my next show, I'm changing it up. And now it's the new step-by-step process of the day. So I force you to actually, with urgency, I force you to actually apply the things I'm talking to you about. I'm going to show you the step-by-step processes on how to do that. You can have notes and you can have like more indications on what to do, where to go exactly to actually achieve the step-by-step process that I just share with you. But I force you to apply it, to see the results, to actually get the revenue, to get that hype, to get that engagement, that audience that you want to serve, and actually help the people that you want to help get that revenue. So if you want to do that, make sure that you go to gabrieljulié.com/action plan, gabrieljulié.com/action plan. And guys, that's everything for me today. Make sure that you subscribe. Come back to the show every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube at Gabriel Julié, and on Clubhouse at the Marketing Commandos. I'm going to wait a few little seconds to make sure that if you guys on YouTube want to go on Clubhouse to ask questions, because I always open to answer some questions. If this is about the daily action plan, the Commandos action plan, or if this is about anything, sales funnels, promotion, product launch, advertising, make sure that you go into the Clubhouse room right now. Marketing Commandos. The Clubhouse room is Marketing Commandos. Every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go in that room if you want to ask your questions right now. While you guys are migrating to the Clubhouse room, I'm going to drink a bit because, well, I'm starting to get so thirsty talking so much. Oh, baby. God damn. That's way better. I'm pretty much going to down that bottle. 750 milliliters in one sitting with all the value. I just spit it out. Now, did you guys like this video, by the way? Did you guys like today's episode? If you do, make sure that you share the stream with somebody that's interested and that wants to take his or her business to the next level, because we do this every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Gabriel Julié, the YouTube channel, and Marketing Commandos. Guys, that's going to be it for today. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope that you appreciated the value that I just shared. I see you on tomorrow's episode. Be great and apply the knowledge. Apply the knowledge, guys. Apply the knowledge, because if you don't do that, well, it just did. The time that I just spent with you, it meant nothing. So go to gabrieljulié.com/action plan, gabrieljulié.com/action plan. Take action. It's free. You don't have to pay anything. No catch. You just apply the actions to make sure that you see the results. Now, guys, I see you on tomorrow's episode. Have a great